You know, Music and Words Unite is only possible because of viewers and supporters like you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Mark cry.
And my daughter and likes ABBA a lot, and we both have sort of marveled over the idea that The Visitors is such a cool song, and the payoff is so worth going through that vade through that long intro and final when the song sort of erupts. And that's the song that they start with. Yes! So cool.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Music and Words Unite. I am your lone host today, Troy. And today I have a very exciting episode. As some of you may know, I am a hardcore Ghost fan. I mean hardcore. I've gone back since, I first discovered Ghost in about 2012. And the first time I saw them live was 2013. I've seen them 20-ish times since. And I came across this video of Tobias talking about his influences. And there's a video here, which we're going to watch a clip of that in a second, where he said the top 6 albums that shaped Ghost. And I said, I want to find out about this. Maybe there's some, cool stuff in here. And there was a band that he mentioned called ABBA, which I guess didn't shock me because people claim that, Ghost has some ABBA-esque influence and sound. But I had honestly never listened to ABBA before except for Dancing Queen. So, and that really in passing, I hadn't actually sat down to listen to it. So I thought ABBA was more just a 70s kind of pop, Dancing Queen and disco and stuff like that, which is cool, but just not something I typically listened to or was cared about when I was younger. So when he made this video, Mark and I, my partner, we said, okay, we'll listen to the album he's talking about here just to see what it's like. And when I put on the song he's going to talk about now, I put on the record player, first time, I was totally blown away. And this was back in May, and we recorded an episode on that. You can check that out on the channel. Of course, our album review of The Visitors by ABBA. And since then, ABBA has become, one of my most listened to groups in 2025. So much so that I think this band is absolutely misunderstood, totally brilliant. Some of the best songwriting of all time when it comes to pop music, disco music, soul. There's some soul and funk music mixed in there, rock music, right? They do a little bit of everything. And it's 2 gentlemen who write the music and lyrics, and the 2 ladies who are some of the best, pop vocalists of all time, maybe the best. They got to be up there together. So, and the reason I was so blown away by this group is not only is the songwriting so strong and the performance is so strong, but really it was the subject matter. It was the lyric writing. It was putting everything together. I said, oh, it reminds me a lot of Ghost, actually. And Ghost has this thing where they do the happy sad, where they have happy sounding music with sad or dark sounding lyrics that usually have one or more meanings. A lot of Ghost lyrics have dual and sometimes triple meanings. And same thing with a lot of these ABBA lyrics. And I had no idea that there was that kind of depth to ABBA. So Mark and we started listening to all the ABBA records, and we haven't listened to them all yet, but almost. I think we have 2 or 3 left in total. We've listened to 6, and I've become a huge fan. I even went to see an ABBA tribute band. Actually, that's how much of a fan I am of this group. So since I'm a big Ghost fan, since I'm now a big ABBA fan, I said, why don't I put together a playlist that would be like 1 CD's length, no longer than a CD, so you could sit down and listen in one listen, and I'll structure it for you. And if you like Ghost like me, how would I introduce a Ghost fan to this group to do a deeper dive? And hint, Dancing Queen is not on this is not on this playlist. This is a playlist curated for Ghost fans, and I'm going to tell you every song why I picked this song for you. And I really hope you go through it, you like it, you enjoy it. And I would love to hear from you. We have a community. We have an actual free community where we have ABBA fans in there, Ghost fans, and fans of many other music and groups in there as well. It's on Discord. The link for that will be in the pinned comment. That's our big music club, 100% free. We have a Ghost channel, ABBA channel, and everything. So we'd love to see you in there, especially if you check this out. Of course, you could leave it in the comments. So I'm gonna let Tobias go first here before we get to the music. Let's see what he had to say about this.
Of course, there are a few hits on that one, but just generally regarded as a little bit of a forgotten ABBA record. I went to see them see them, sorry. That tells you how good it was. The ABBA Avatar show in London, and they opened up with The Visitors. And I've always thought that was such a cool start of a record, because it has this long intro. It's sort of just, you don't even hear when it starts. It's just like the slowest, where all their other records just start with immediate hit. It just had this completely different progression, and I guess that might be one of the reasons why that record is sort of regarded as maybe not their greatest moment. Fast forward in life, and my daughter, who's also very interested in music and likes ABBA a lot, and we both have sort of marveled over the idea that The Visitors is such a cool song, and the payoff is so worth going through that long intro and final when the song sort of erupts. And that's the song that they start with. Yes! So cool.
All right, so that's Tobias talking about The Visitors, which is the first song I heard, doing my ABBA journey, and it's the first song on the playlist I made for you as well. Some of these songs I'm going to play clips from. Some of them I won't, just because I don't want this to be an hour-long video. I want it to be kind of short. But I do just want to either talk about the reason why I'm picking the song or play clips and then talk about it. So in this case, I don't even want to spoil this for you. I just want it to be a surprise. I actually believe you might be shocked when you listen to this song. One of the things I would really recommend doing with ABBA is to read the lyrics. The lyrics are excellent. The lyric writing is very, I'm going to call it Swedish, for lack of a better word. I've noticed a lot of Swedish artists like Tobias, like ABBA, like Opeth, like there's many other Swedish artists out there. And there is a sense of melancholy to a lot of the lyrics. And you're going to see that. And I'm not even going to spoil what The Visitors is about. I would just like you to read it. I think you're really going to be blown away by this song, as I was. Don't expect a super poppy, like, Dancing Queen. Just get that out of your mind and realize that ABBA is as much more, while I wouldn't call them a rock band per se, although they do have some rock music, they're much more like a rock band than a pop act, in the sense of they write all their own music. They have a lot of depth to their music. They write from the heart, and there's a lot of feeling in their music. And a lot of times their lyrics can be ambiguous and you can interpret it many ways. It's not your typical pop music. And starting off with The Visitors is, you're not going to see another better example of that. All right. So I'm going to go down the list. So that's the first one. That's the first song on the playlist. The next song is Under Attack. All right. Now, Under Attack is not a well-known ABBA song by probably the general public. It was one of the last songs they ever recorded before they broke up. If you don't know the story, basically Benny and Frida and Bjorn and Agneta, the four folks of ABBA, they were married as couples, and they both divorced. And in fact, their divorces are almost, in a way, documented in the last two ABBA albums, because The Visitors and the album before that, Super Trooper, there's a lot of songs about breakup and kids, and like a lot of serious subject matter is on these albums, and it definitely is coming from the heart there. So Under Attack is great because it reminds me a lot of a Ghost S song, where it is super catchy, super fun and happy sounding, and yet when you read the lyrics, yeah, some Ghost songs where it sounds super happy, but underneath there's this huge darkness to the lyrics, and this is Under Attack. I definitely recommend that. The next song on the playlist is If It Wasn't for the Nights, one of my all-time favorite ABBA songs. Again, not another hit song. The first three songs on this playlist were not hits at all, actually. Actually, many of the songs were not hits. And that's what drew me to ABBA, is the depth of their discography. How, yeah, the hits are great songs, of course, but to me, a band and even a rock band is really shown how great they are is by the strength of their albums. And that's why I listen to the albums on repeat. So if it wasn't for the Nights, this is a song, I'm going to play a clip from this song actually. This is a song that is talking about, going through your day, trying to escape feeling sad or feeling alone or depressed or something. And you can escape it all day long, but once the night comes, you can't escape it anymore. Again, it's very like Ghost-esque in some of the lyrics. It reminds me, Lacrima is a song where on the surface, it seems like it's kind of a happy song, but really it's talking about self-deceit and lying to yourself, right? And everyone around knows that you're lying to yourself kind of thing. And so a lot of these lyrics are this kind of melancholy, sounds happy, sad. So I'm going to play a clip from If It Wasn't for the Nights. Now, this is from a more of a disco album of theirs. The cool thing about ABBA is they have many different styles. So back to back, I'm going to show you that in the next few songs. So I'm going to play a clip from that.
Baby, I miss you so. I know I'm never gonna make it. Oh, I'm so restless. I don't care what I say, and I lose my temper 10 times a day. Still, it's even worse when the night's on its way. It's bad, so bad. Somehow I'd be doing alright if it wasn't for the nights. If it wasn't for the nights, I think that I could make it. I have courage left to fight. If it wasn't for the nights, if it wasn't for the nights, I think that I could take it. Now I feel the time when shadows start to fall. Sitting here alone and staring at the wall.
Anyway, that was a clip from If It Wasn't for the Night. So the next song I'm going to recommend is Eagle. Now, if you're a fan of classic rock music, this might be right up your alley. This is a song I play for ABBA, for people that have never really listened to much ABBA before or only think they're like a disco band or something like that, to show some of their diversity. In fact, the next two songs. So the next one, I'm going to play a little clip of that from the beginning, and then I'll get to the song after that.
They came flying from far away. Now I'm under their spell. I love hearing the stories that they tell.
I'm not going to play the chorus, but that's a clip of it. You can see how it sounds way different than the last song I just played. The next song is a song that Ghost actually covered on their If You Have Ghost EP. If you haven't heard that EP, I'm assuming if you're a Ghost fan, you probably haven't heard it, but maybe you haven't. An excellent EP. We did an episode about that on the channel, by the way. On that EP, there's a cover of I'm a Marionette. Now, again, this is another example of ABBA having some darker lyrics, right? So I'm going to play a little bit of that.
You're so free, that's what everybody's telling me. Yet I feel I'm like an outward bound, pushed around refugee. Something's wrong, got a feeling that I don't belong. As if I had come from outer space, out of place, like you come. I'm a marionette, just a marionette, pull the string. I'm a marionette, everybody's fed just as long as I sing.
So if you're a Ghost fan, you probably know the song, even if you're not an ABBA fan. So yeah, I mean, amazing song. The last song on ABBA, the album, And that album has songs like "Take a Chance on Me" on it, for example, and it has this on it. So that's what I mean. This group is really, really diverse. The next song on the playlist is our first real big hit song. Because when you're structuring an album, of course, you have to have hits throughout if you have hits. And this is a pick me up. The next two songs are real big pick me ups for dance. So Gimme, Gimme, Gimme and Voulez-Vous. These two songs, you probably know Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. If not, definitely, check it out on the playlist. Amazing song. And again, some of the elements are ABBA-esque, are Ghost-esque, excuse me, here. So for example, this song is talking about feeling alone, feeling scared by yourself, definitely loneliness. And, there's a line where she says, there's not a soul out there, so no one to hear my prayer, and I can't think what more ghost than that. So I'm going to play a clip from that one part real quick, just so you can hear what I mean. Anyway, so if you want like a kind of a dark sounding funk dance song, I mean, this is your jam. The next one is Voulez-Vous. I mean, I'm not going to play it, but I could say this with certainty. If you play this song, especially loud, and you don't dance, you literally don't have a soul. So there's that. The next one is Me and I. Not a song many people know or even talk about. But I think if you're a Ghost fan, you're going to love this song. This song lyrically is talking about the relationship that you have with yourself and how oftentimes we're misunderstood. Like, sometimes we're good, sometimes we're bad, sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we can be confusing. Like, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Also, if you doubt your self-identity, for example, like, sometimes in life when you're growing up, you don't know who you really are, right? And your own personality. So it's just talking about that and really about being yourself and just admitting that, like, everyone's a freak in their own way. Literally, there's one of the lines that says, everyone's a freak. So I figure if you're a Ghost fan, you can appreciate that because most Ghost fans are usually attracted to something different than what most people like or in the mainstream, especially lyrically and the kind of the concept of the band. And one of the cool things about, I think, a crossover between the two acts is, ABBA has a huge support from people all around the world, men, women, gay, straight, doesn't matter. They have a huge following in South America, for example, in Europe, in the US, all different walks of life, right? And same thing with Ghost, they are huge around the world. Again, I've go to Ghost concerts. There's people my age. I'm 44. There's kids there. There's teenagers. There's black, white, every race, LGBT, every LGBTQ. Like a lot of folks there too. It doesn't matter, right? Everyone's there. Everyone's partying. Everyone really gets into the lyrics and sees themselves. And to me and I is a perfect example of that. So definitely check out Me and I. I think you're gonna like that one. The next one is Super Trooper. It's from the album Super Trooper, so these three songs in a row. Super Trooper, it was a hit song for ABBA. And again, it's the happy, sad thing. It kind of sounds really happy on the surface, but if you really listen to it, it is kind of a melancholy song. And I think if you're a Ghost fan, it's going to be right up your alley. And yeah, this is, post-divorce of Bjorn and Agneta. And it's a song about someone feeling, again, lonely in their hotel room and wanting to call their new lover, right? Maybe after they've been through a relationship, in this case, maybe a marriage, if it's autobiographical or not, I'm not totally sure. But yeah, and hoping they see this person out in the crowd, because even though the whole crowd loves them and the lights are on them, they feel alone without, someone to be in a relationship with, and they're hoping they're out in the crowd. So it's kind of a melancholy song, a little bit hopeful. The Winner Takes It All, one of the best probably pop ballads ever written and performed, in my opinion. And I had never heard it before this year, thanks to Tobias. This is a song which is pretty clearly about the divorce of Bjorn and Agneta. And Bjorn wrote the lyrics and Agneta sings it. And it's really a song about their own divorce, which is really powerful, something you pretty much never see in music. So definitely check that out. When all is said and done, I'm going to play a clip from this. This is a song from the Visitors. This song is not that popular compared to a lot of the other songs I mentioned that were hit songs. As Tobias said, the album didn't have a lot of hits. But just because the album doesn't have a lot of hits doesn't mean it's not great. In fact, I think this is potentially their best album or top two. And this song is pretty much about the breakup, I believe, of people in the band, Benny and Frida, the other couple in this group. And Frida is the one singing the vocals on this one. And one of the interesting things about the ABBA breakup songs, especially later in their career, but even early, I would say, is the maturity that they show when they even go through a divorce. You don't really see this type of maturity in music. Like, this song is talking about two people splitting up, potentially going through a divorce, and admitting that it's okay and that they've done everything they could do, and that they're not going to hate each other. And but I mean, it's such a beautiful song. But just listen to the beginning of the song. I'm going to play the beginning of it here. Let's see. Listen to the vocals when it comes in. I mean, you start getting some 80s synthesizer work in there. And then Frida's vocals come in.
Here's to us, one more toast, and then we'll pay the bill. Deep inside, both of us can feel the autumn chill. Birds of passage, you and me, we fly instinctively.
Check out the harmonies.
When the summer's over and the dark clouds hide the sun, neither you nor I'm to blame when all is said and done.
Ah, man.
In our
I love this song. I can't believe people out there that like ABBA and stuff don't know some of this later ABBA stuff. It's incredible. The next song is Waterloo. I'm not going to play a clip from it. I will say this, though. If you're a Ghost fan, listen to the lyrics of Satanized and look at the lyrics of Waterloo, and you'll see it's almost the same song in a way. It's just, I think Satanized, I honestly believe it was heavily influenced by this song. That's my personal opinion. I can't state that for sure because Tobias never said that, but it's literally the same subject matter, basically. The next one is SOS. Now, this is a Waterloo and SOS. I had to include some ABBA classics. There are a ton of ABBA classics that are not on here. I mean, literally, like dozens that aren't on this playlist. That's how many great songs they had. But SOS, for a Ghost fan, I think this is going to be right up your alley. It's got a little bit of rock and roll in it. It's got the melancholy stuff. It's got some of the happy sounding stuff. It's got it all there. Perfect. Probably one of the best pop songs ever written too. There's quite a few on this list, and I'm not even including some of the best that aren't even on this list. The next one is Lay All Your Love on Me. Really fantastic, bringing back the energy in the playlist, but like a dark sounding dance song. So I think you might like that. The next track is one that Tobias was heavily influenced by. And I say influence like almost sparingly because there's literally a part that is exactly the same. So I'm going to play it. And if you're a Ghost fan, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. If you're a Ghost fan, you should know what that's from. So I keep on mentioning. But yeah, so that's the beginning of a Ghost song is literally almost the same as that part. hint, it's on pre-cal. All right, I'm not going to play this whole song, but that beginning, that definitely Tobias was influenced by that. Again, this is on The Visitors, so I can tell he was a big fan of this album. The next one is not technically on The Visitors. It's on the deluxe edition. And what that means is it actually wasn't part of The Visitors, but they released a few songs after this Visitors album came out, which was their last album before they broke up. Luckily, though, they have come back, reunited after, 40 years and made a new album like in their 70s, actually. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm spacing my timing out on that. But this is the first time they broke up. This was their last album. But there's a song that they came out with, one of the last songs they recorded, called The Day Before You Came. Mark and I recorded a specific episode about this song, or I literally got chills listening to this song. Like, it really impacted me and affected me. This is one of the only songs, probably the only song, which really isn't like a pop style song. It's really not a pop song, to be honest with you. I don't even know how to describe it. You kind of have to listen to yourself. The song is very dark. It is poppy sounding, but it doesn't have a really catchy chorus. It doesn't really have a chorus at all, to be honest with you. But there are multiple interpretations of this song. I would love for you to listen to this song, read the lyrics, and think about two things. There's the mainstream interpretation, which Bjorn talked about, which is someone's going through their life. They were in a relationship before, and that relationship, what their life was like before that relationship, was lonely and kind of sad and mundane and dull, and they really didn't like it. They hated it. This person came into their life, made them really happy, and now they've gone again. And now this person has gone back to the day before that person came. That's the official interpretation. And that it is sad, like, if you think about it that way. But there is an alternative interpretation of this song, which I think the beautiful thing about Bjorn's lyrics is you could interpret them many ways. And in fact, it could have many meanings. And in this one, the you could be death. Now, I want you to think about that when you listen to this song. If this song is talking about death, how does this make you feel? Okay. So yeah, because even by the end of the song, I play a clip from it. I mean, it is really dark. You're going to hear what I mean. So... we got to get a ghost cover of this at some point, right? We got to get one. So anyway, Day Before You Came, definitely an incredible song. Amazing. The last two are the last two on The Visitors. So I started the playlist off with the first song on The Visitors, and I'm ending it with the last two songs on The Visitors. So you're getting like half of The Visitors on this album, actually, on this playlist. If you have kids, this song will 100% make you cry. I'm just letting you know, okay? This is one of the most beautiful songs, beautifully sad songs you will ever hear. I'm not going to play it right now because I don't want to cry, but this song is incredible. It's like an 11 out of 10. I don't say there's a lot of perfect songs in the world. This is one of them. And the last song is the follow-up to that on the album, Like an Angel Passing Through My Room. I'm not even going to tell you what this song is about. I want you to listen to this yourself, read the lyrics, and experience it like I did, and put your own thoughts in it. Because this is some really fantastic, deep lyrics, music, performance. This is one of the best groups of all time. I think they're totally misunderstood. I think at this point in life, a lot of ABBA fans, from what I was told from folks in our Discord, were kind of mocked and ridiculed for liking ABBA, especially in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. And it just goes to show that people in the world really don't know what they're talking about. And and a lot of them just follow trends. So to me, there's nothing more metal and out of the box than liking things that you're not supposed to like. So so maybe that's why I got so attracted to this person in the first place, because I was like, oh my God, I love this music and I'm not supposed to like it. That's what people tell me because it's like uncool or whatever. And I can't think of anything more cool than brilliant musicians, brilliant songwriters, brilliant performers writing deep, music that is also catchy, that is also, you can sing along to every single word. And then when you analyze the lyrics, it can literally make you cry. You can relate to it personally. You can pass it down to your kids because the kids love it. It's got something for everybody. So yeah, that's my review. So hopefully you check out this playlist. If you do, let me know in the Discord. Come in there, talk about it. If not, if you don't want to come in the Discord, that's okay. You can, comment on this video, of course. We'd love to hear from you. If you like the episode, though, give us a like. We'd appreciate it. There's going to be more ABBA content, more Ghost content, and as you can see on the channel, a lot of variety content as well. So we would love to have you as a subscriber if you want to. I'm going to put together a YouTube playlist for this playlist, a Spotify, and an Apple Music playlist. So there's going to be links for all three in the comments, okay? So go listen to it. Come back. Let me know what you think. Love to see you in the Discord, all right? Well, till next time, long live ABBA and Ghost and music. All right. See you later.